Yeah, some shafts have um funny names, right? Um, and I know be wondering, well, why is this shaft named Spat Shaft, whatever. Sometimes it's based on the history and the managers, because sometimes the shafts are named mostly around the managers or people that actually did historical things to that shaft, or even the sinking managers, people that were there when the shaft was being sinked and all of that. But in most time you'll find that other shafts are given names, and then are given numbers like shaft 16, yeah, like that in the Impala side. And then you'll have other shafts named Spat Shaft. You'll have other shafts named based on location, by the location where they are, and the continues. That is the sole reason of that, is just to, especially the ones that um people are named after, is just to honor those people, right? It's just to give an honor to the people that actually did historic things on those shafts, and at the same time the people that were involved in the initial sinking of that shaft. And then the other reason can just be like, the main one is that it's actually important that we're able to identify where the shaft is. For example, if the mine rescue teams and but again the inspectors need to specify in their reports or which shaft or which area is that. As also, like in the Mine Health and Safety Act, there's in the law book, there is like where they speak about mine layouts, um uh, mine surveying, identification of stuff. So yeah, that's what is basically all about, just to ensure that we can be able to locate that specific area. And then you still have your shaft being named after numbers. That side of Impala, they like using like numbers, because I seen they have like 16 shaft, 17 shaft, whatever. And speaking of 16 shaft, it's a did you know that that shaft was planned in actually the initial studies were in 1993. So it took like almost a timeline of 20 years. 20 years, because it started to, their cold commissioning was around 20, is it 2013 or 2014? I might be wrong. And then yeah, and then they actually started working on the shaft after feasibility approved. The project started going on in 2004. That's when they got did on it. And then by 2013, 2014, 2013, somewhere there, that's when they started to actually go for cold commissioning. By the word commissioning, or the word cold commissioning, just necessarily means that like the shaft systems were tested then, right? But without the actual material, or yeah, the material being there. So systems conveyance, there was just there was just checking and testing what these shafts can perform its functions, but without the materials that need to be conveyed or hoisted. But at the center of it, they I don't know by when did they started doing their hot commissioning. Yeah, you can look up to that, but that's basically it, man. And it's quite interesting. One thing that I love about the whole process of mining is shaft sinking, because they like before a shaft can even happen, or before a shaft can be synced, that's where intellectual minds come together and they make sure that these projects work. And because if a shaft sinking part fails, there's no way we're gonna go underground, you understand? So it has to be precise, it has to be correct. And that's where your sharp minds come in. That's where your school learned people come in, the people that actually know mining, the because now you'll have to include like your people that can do your feasibility study and what consult and so on. So usually yeah, mining is complex. It's not just drill and blast, man. It's not just drill and blast where it's quite complex in terms of safety, drill and blast, and it's also complex because you're dealing with a lot of people. But at the center of it, mining behind it, before it can even happen, there are a lot of intellectual people that come there. And more, I know most of graduates or most of universities, they teach that, they teach such thinking thoroughly, because without that, there is no mines, there is no mining. You understand? You have to get your ventilation shafts right, your refrigerations right, the actual main shaft right. You understand? You have to get it right. You have to sink that thing right, man. So yeah.